fans of high quality entertainment. My cat Mittens is where Jinx usually is. She's sleeping as usual. Today I thought, for a change, I would do something a little different. What I would do is, well, first of all, one more thing before I get into the main subject of this video. More than one person has asked me about this Rolling Stone cover. And some people actually think it's real. In fact, a few years back, when I had the magazine. I didn't just rip off the cover here, but I had a full magazine. I had it on my coffee table. And my youngest son was over visiting. And he looks down at the coffee table and he sees that, and for a split second he was thinking, my dad is more famous than I thought he was. But it's just a fake cover that I did with Photoshop. I do have some Photoshop skills. So, there it is, Rolling Stone, Larry Graves, the brilliant mind of a YouTube sensation. Then the rest of it is real. That was an actual, and then I just pasted I don't know who was on the cover there, maybe it was Jay-Z, but then I just pasted my silly photo, and it looks pretty authentic. Authentic enough for people to think that I'm actually famous. Now, I do have the final 2 Velvet Underground albums on my channel already for my members. Become a member, you can watch them right now today. And so they'll be coming up in the next couple of days. What I thought I would do for high quality entertainment is, here's my CDs, and I thought what I would do is just grab any CD from this, some movies at the bottom there, any CD, and just give you my quick thoughts on, like a mini review and maybe a rating out of 10, and talk about the album cover. This is going to be so much fun, at least for me. This one's sticking out, that's what he said. See, this is what, I'm glad I picked something like this. It's something that I never really, maybe I've talked about once. I've got a CD by Hole. And yeah, I've always really loved this CD, most of it. Lived through this. I never listened to any more of their music, except videos or whatever. But yeah, I really like this album. My favorite songs are Rockstar, Violet, Miss World, Doll Parts. Some of it I don't remember, some of the songs, because I have not played this in a long time. But I just know some of these songs I absolutely love. So anyway, the album cover, I think it's kind of spooky and cool. I give it a 9 out of 10. I give the actual album, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I should play this soon. I bought it for $5.99. Okay. Let's see another one. I'll do about 10 of these. You'll know before I do. Patti Smith Horses. Now, I love the Patti Smith group. Easter is my favorite album of theirs, and Radio Ethiopia, and Wave. But Horses, even though I bought this, people say, oh, you don't have Horses, you've got to buy it. And I've listened to it, but I've never, I need to listen to it more because I don't know it very well. I'm ashamed to say. I'm so ashamed. So for the album cover, I think that's superb. It's really cool. It shows her attitude and her personality, and I would give that, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. It's very classy. And I can't rate this album. I can't rate it yet. I need At some point, I promise, some point this year, I'm going to listen to this. Maybe I'll rate and rank the Patti Smith group. There there's this one, then Radio Ethiopia, so 4 albums, kind of like the Velvet Underground. Let's go down, way down. You'll know before I do. It's the Tubes, their debut album. I love the Tubes. I love early Tubes. They after, their first 3 albums, the Tubes, Young and Rich, and Now. Those are my 3 favorites. They did make some good music after that, but it was a bit more commercial. I like their zanier stuff, and this is my favorite of their albums. The album cover is a definite 10 out of 10. Back cover is cool too. And yeah, White Punks on Dope, of course, is one of their most popular songs, but the whole album I love. And I would say Up From the Deep, the very first song, has one of the weirdest intros to any album I've ever heard. It's like, what did I just buy? So overall, What Do You Want From Life and Space Baby, just a great band. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. It's one of the great debut albums. Thank you very much. And this is a 2-4. It's got the other 2 albums, Young and Rich and Now. Let's go up here. I know the Beatles are up here. I don't really need to rate and review them, do I? Oh, one more level up here. Let's see. That's either AC/DC or Alice Cooper. It's Alice Cooper. I love Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper group. I never really followed Alice Cooper's solo career, but I know he's made some great albums, but I just prefer the band. And more than one person has asked me about ranking and reviewing the Alice Cooper group era. And yes, I have all of the Alice Cooper group albums, so at some point I will. So this, once again, I don't like the including their hit I'm 18. It's kind of cheesy, but without that, that would be a definite 10 out of 10 album cover. And the back is cool too. Caught in a Dream, I'm 18, Long Way to Go, Black Choo-Choo. I love that song. Is It My Body? Yeah, Ballad of Dwight Fry and Sunrise. Just a classic, early 70s album, a 10 out of 10. But I don't even know if this is my favorite Alice Cooper band album. Okay, second level here. That's where I think the Beatles are. I don't want to do the Beatles. If I grab a Beatles CD, I'm going to throw it back. It's Captain Beefheart. That's another artist who, at some point, I would like to rank and review all of his albums because I have them all. This one, Unconditionally Guaranteed. Okay, the album cover. This is when he tried to go a little more commercial. It's hard to see. Yeah, and he's got the money in his hands. It's like he's kind of showing, hey, I'm selling out. So I would give that, and the album cover is kind of busy though. So I would give that, the lighting is kind of bad here, but Is that better? There we go. I would give that cover a 100% pure and good. I would give that a 7 out of 10. I do like the idea of it and the back cover. The album itself, though, I rarely play it. Upon the My Oh My is really good. Sugar Bowl and Peaches, but it's not one of my favorite Captain Beefheart albums. It is overly commercial. But who knows, I might change my mind once I start ranking and reviewing and listening to this album a few times before I rank it and review it. Okay, that level. We'll go into the C's and the D's, and isn't this fun? Let me know in the comment section below if you would like me to do this occasionally. You'll know before I do. It's Frank Zappa. You may have heard of him. Yeah. This is one of the early, I had bought One Size Fits All in 1975. First time I'd ever heard his music, and I became a fan instantly. And so I bought this, you know, within a couple of years after that. And I've always been a fan of it. Great, great live album. The album cover is pretty cool. I would give that an 8 out of 10. This is a single CD, but it was, of course, a double vinyl record. And the musicianship is just so stellar. Penguin in Bondage, Village of the Sun, Cheapness, More Trouble Every Day, Bebop Tango of the Old Jasmine's Church. It's kind of one side of the original vinyl. It's kind of silly. It's not something you would want to listen to all the time because there's a lot of studio interaction, and it'd be nice to actually see it. I know there is a DVD of this era, which I really like, but overall, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Okay, this level here, no idea. It's Jon Anderson from Yes. This is actually my latest purchase of his solo albums. I have his first 3 I'm absolutely a big fan of. So I've got, some of them are in the bedroom. The Song of Seven is in my bedroom. I was listening to it recently. And I've also got the remastered Oleus of Sun Hillow. Superb. And Animation is also in my bedroom. And then I've also got 1000 Hands, his latest release. I've got this one with John Vangelis. Is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. And Survival and Other Stories. And like I said, this was my latest release. I've only listened to part of it once. I haven't had time to listen to it. It's a bit more, it's probably one of his lowest rated albums on Rate Your Music. It's pretty commercial. It's kind of, you know, Jon Anderson with his lyrics. He can get a bit cheesy, but he's so sincere with his vocals. It's like it doesn't matter, the cheesiness. He means what he's singing. And so this one, the album cover, it's okay. That's his wife. And it's like a 6 out of 10, I guess. It's all right. And the album, I don't want to rate it yet, but I guess on the first listen, for what I have heard of it, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. but I love Jon Anderson. Next Level. I had a feeling because of the texture, and I knew I was around the region of the Paul McCartney CDs, and I've got quite a few of them. I was kind of thinking, I wonder if that's Wildlife because of the texture of the CD. Okay, the album cover, it's a classic. It's really nice. It really suits the music within. I would give that at least a 9 out of 10. The album, I definitely appreciate it more now than I did when it came out. It was definitely a disappointment. You know, some fans of Paul McCartney thought that his first album, McCartney, was a disappointment, and some thought Ram was a disappointment. But this was definitely a disappointment on first listen. But like I said, over the years, I've grown to like it a lot more. Even Wildlife, which I used to hate, I now actually really love a lot. You know, Mumbo and Bip Bop, they're basically just silly jams. They're just having fun. Love is Strange is really nice. Wildlife, great vocals by McCartney. Some People Never Know is really underrated. I Am Your Singer, I actually love. And then Tomorrow and Dear Friend are just incredible. I would give this a very high 8 out of 10. Next Level. Far out, man. It is the Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. The album cover, of course, the original was in 3D, and it was definitely copying the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. But it's still, especially the 3D, it was pretty cool in its time, and I would give it a 10 out of 10. It worked. The album itself is, I feel, it's a bit underrated. It's not one of their best, but it's still a very good album. She's a Rainbow, 2000 Light Years from Home, possibly my favorite Rolling Stones song. In Another Land, 2000 Man. You know, some of it, like Sing This All Together, See What Happens, kind of drags a bit and it's a little silly, but it's of its time. But overall, I would give this, once again, a very strong 8 out of 10, at least. Level, Another Level. Van Morrison, Blowing Your Mind. I've hardly played this one. This is his actual first album released, even though Van Morrison didn't even know anything about it, from what I read up on this. He doesn't consider this his debut album. He considers Astral Weeks his debut album, and Astral Weeks is a 10 out of 10. It's just a fantastic album. So this one I haven't really played as much. Brown Eyed Girl, of course, is on it. I have played it once, so I would need to play it more to really give it a rating. The album cover, once again, it's kind of its time. I give that like a 7 out of 10. I do like the font, Blowing Your Mind. It's just too bad that, you know, Van Morrison never approved of this release. So I'm not even going to rate it. But it's Van Morrison. It's good. Oh, this is a double. I bet you I know what it is. Yeah, it is. Yes, Tales from Topographic Oceans. This is the Steven Wilson remix. And through the years, I mean, my brother, my second oldest brother, he was a huge fan of Yes. He saw them in concert back in the early 70s. I did see them on their Tornado tour with him, but he used to buy all of their albums, like Fragile and Close to the Edge and this one. And so, you know, I'd read the reviews and all that, so I never really listened to this album until maybe the 80s, and I would very slowly start to appreciate it. And in the last few years, I just think it's a totally amazing album. I know that some people think there's too much filler on it, and they just expanded it to make it a double album, and Rick Wakeman certainly wasn't a fan, but I don't care. I love this album. And when I listen to it, I listen start to finish. And I would give the album cover by Roger Dean a 10 out of 10. I would give the album a 10 out of 10. It's that good. Anybody still watching? I find this fun to do. I don't know about you. Maybe it's not fun to watch, but it's fun to do. I know the Beatles are around. No. Would they be? No. Let's go near the end. I'm almost done. Let's do a couple more. Better not be the Beatles. Bob Dylan! That's right, Bob Dylan with my favorite Bob Dylan album. Sometimes people ask me, what's my favorite Bob Dylan album? I'm holding it in my hands. This came out in 1979? Yeah, 1979. And it's, you know, it's very religious. He's really pushing the Christianity at the time, and it didn't bother me at all. I'm spiritual. I don't necessarily believe everything he's singing on this album, but it's, you know, once again, like Jon Anderson, what he's singing, he's believing in himself, and so that really helps. Even if you don't believe yourself in what he's singing, you know that the man himself is believing it. The album cover, it's really better than some Bob Dylan album covers. I give that and I like the font and everything. It's kind of cool. And it's like a cross there. I give that an 8 out of 10. And the album, Mark Knopfler on guitar. I love his work. I love his guitar work on this too. Gotta Serve Somebody. My favorite songs are Precious Angel, I Believe in You, and When He Returns. But it's all really good. I would give that a 10 out of 10. Okay, one more. Let's make it a good one. It's Iggy Pop. I didn't know I had this in my collection. Yes, I did. Yeah, Iggy Pop. At some point I would like to get at least the first 2 Stooges album, because I've listened to them a bit more on Spotify, and it's like, you know what? I actually really like this. As for his solo career, I've heard bits and pieces of it, and I like some of it. I love some of it. Lust for Life is incredible. The Passenger I absolutely love. Real Wild Child is great. China Girl, the original, of course. So yeah, this is a fun record. And for it being like a greatest hits, and even like the songs on the cover. I usually don't like when they print the song titles on the cover, but for this, it's okay. It's his greatest hits at the time. So I give that an 8 out of 10. And the album, I would give an 8 out of 10. Some of the songs are just good, but I mean, like I said, Lust for Life and 2 or 3 others are just awesome. And that's it. So let me know in the comment section below if you would like me to do this maybe once a month or so. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.